Welcome to Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, prescribed by Dr. Harrison. So I'm a football coach. I've coached for the last decade as a head coach and a defensive coordinator for a varsity high school football team. I've coached everything from basketball to football to track and field. I've done a little bit of assistant coaching with some baseball, not really my sport though. Anyways, the other day, so this message is for coaches. The other day I was listening to sports talk radio and there were two stories that came out about some football coaches. Now the first one, it was more about the coach not being responsible for his program, kind of an Urban Meyer situation where two of his athletes had spiked the water cooler with male enhancement drugs. Well, once that was revealed, even though the coach didn't know, he got fired. The other one is a little more egregious. This coach in Florida, a few of the things that he was doing. He blew a snot rocket on a kid. He headbutted a kid. He told a kid he was so bad that he should go home and commit suicide. He stood on a bathroom stood on a bathroom toilet and peed over the stall onto a player. Are you serious? That's unbelievable. I can't even believe that. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that player didn't turn around and do something to that coach. And to top it all off, this guy is the dean of students at the school. Now, he was banned from Florida education statewide, which is exactly what should have happened, but this guy probably should have been put in jail. Now, what I want to say to coaches here, and this is me being a coach as well, is that this falls in line with coaches and teachers as well. You are an extension of the parents. We give you our children. I've got 3 boys who all play sports. We give you our children and entrust our children's lives with you. We put their lives, their well-being in your hands. When I get kids that come in and are part of the teams that I coach, their parents trust that I'm going to do what's best for them, not just in the sport, not just in their school, but in their life. So if you're a coach, you need to be thinking, I need to treat these players as if they were my children, right? Now, Big John Thompson, Georgetown basketball coach, famous, he had a saying that he would always say when he had college basketball boys, and he would say, I would treat them the way as if they were dating my daughter. That's how I would approach them, with respect, expecting a ton of respect back, and they have to earn the right to date my daughter. They have to earn my trust. They have to earn everything they get. Now, I like that. I do. But I don't have a daughter. And quite honestly, I don't know how I would approach my daughter dating because I'm just not in that situation. I can tell you hypothetically, but you don't really know until you're there. But for me, the way I coach is I treat them, these boys or these girls, but more boys because I coach football, I treat them as if they were my sons, right? I don't let them get away with everything, but I respect them. I love them. I support them, not just in what they're doing athletically, not just academically, but again, in their life. These kids will tell you things they won't tell their parents if they trust you. These kids will run through a brick wall for you because of the amount of love and trust they have for you. And you need to recognize that. Don't abuse that. Don't be the guy or the girl or the woman or man who as a coach is abusing that power and treating these kids like they're worthless. The same way they get treated at home, hopefully, is the same way they should be treated on the field or the court to support them to be great human beings. One thing I can say to coaches, if you're ever hesitant in how you're going to approach a player and the way you talk to them, the way you respond to them, stop for a second and think to yourself, would I do that to my own son or daughter? And mentioning daughters, that's even a better way to approach it, especially whether you have a daughter or not. And I know some people are going to say, well, you shouldn't treat girls or boys differently, but let's keep it real, 100%. Fathers look at their daughters a different way than they look at their sons. They approach that dynamic and that relationship different. It's just a fact, whether you want to agree with it or not. So if you really are hesitant and don't know, ask, would I do that towards my daughter? And one of the things you can think about too to make it go even another step further is, how would I feel sitting back watching a coach do this to my son or daughter, whatever it is you're about to do or you have done to a player of yours. If the answer has any kind of hesitation, if the answer is wavering in any kind of way, don't do it. Find another way that makes you feel comfortable. Find a way that say, yeah, I'd be totally fine if a coach did that with my kid. Yes, I'm totally fine in myself doing that with my kid. But you also have to understand that everyone parents a different style and in a different way. Now for me, when I say yes, I'm okay with that, one, you have to understand, I don't coddle my kids. I don't hold their hand through everything. But I do support them, I do love them, I do respect them, I do help them through situations, but I make sure that they help themselves. I make sure that they are held accountable and responsible for all their commitments and dedications, especially in athletics, especially in their academics, especially in their commitment to their friends or whatever endeavors they've taken on. So coaches, if you're out there MFing, if you're out there pointing in people's faces, headbutting helmets, yelling and screaming and demeaning kids, you need to take a step back and take several seats. Because I'll tell you one thing, as a father who is a coach, I never coach my kids. But when I'm at their games or at their practices, I sit back and I step away and I let the coach do their job. The same way as I don't want a parent coming up to me telling me how to do my job. Understand, this is youth sports. This is not the end of the world. I don't care if you do think it's an out or your son or daughter has the ability to play professional ball at some point. That's great. But recognize the coach is there to do their job. If you really want to be that involved, well then go volunteer coach. You go be a coach. You take time out of your day to watch scout film, to scheme, to be prepared. But at the end of the day, to go back full circle to what I'm talking about, coaches, treat these kids you coach like they were your own. Treat them the way you would want your children to be treated if they were on any kind of team, if they were in a classroom, if they were in an extracurricular of any sort. That's your job, is to be an extension of the parent in the home. That's your job, to allow the parents to trust you with their most prized possession, their children. If you keep that in mind, you will always have a good perspective on how you're approaching these kids. For me, the kids that I coach, I love them to death. I will do anything and everything for them, but I am going to hold them accountable. I am going to make them take ownership. I am going to demand respect back, but I also give respect. And the same goes for my children. So whether you're a parent of an athlete, whether you're a coach, whether you're a teacher, understand we are all under the same umbrella because it takes a village, and we know that. So stop doing these things that are getting these kids the wrong idea of what it means to be a part of a team. Because truly a part of a team, what it really means as we break every practice, at the end of practice, family on me, family on three. A team is about family. Talk to you guys tomorrow. That's Doc's Daily Dose for Dads. Don't forget to hashtag Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, hashtag 4D, all social media at RebirthBX, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music. Check out the website, rebirthbx.com. YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. And coaches, be prepared to be the best you can be for these kids. Because for some of these boys, some of these girls, you are the closest thing to a father they have.